Are we live? I'm hoping that this doesn't sound like an echo like the last time. And I'm like wondering if it's because of this pop socket or whatever the case may be. But you know what? How about this? What's up, everyone? Welcome. Hello, community. Welcome to the No Bull Podcast. I'm your host, Brianna Bull, and I'm bringing you everything basketball. With like a little razzle dazzle, a little sprinkle, a little extra, some other stuff, but mostly basketball. Okay. I'm new to streaming. I'm new to this experience, this space. I just was one day I was like, you know what? I have a laptop. It's 8 gigabytes of RAM, but that's okay. Every day I just feel like I've slowly but surely upgraded my setup in some type of capacity. Eventually I'll get a PC. Eventually I'll be out of this basement. Eventually, one can only hope. One can only dream. Full of optimism I am. Just really excited though. So I have a couple different angles here. I have my camera, which is fully charged. I have my MacBook camera. Wow. Look at the difference. Anyway, and then we have the main cam where we get into the nitty gritty. I'm excited because, like I said in the title, we are talking about the finals. Tomorrow is game 6. The OKC leads 3-2. It's going to be in Indiana. The Pacers crowd is a solid crowd. Okay, they do well at home. Let's see what we have. Handy dandy stat muse as well. Let's see what the Pacers are. What is their record at home this season? For all of you who have no idea what stat muse is, stat muse is, why do I always do this? I switch it to this camera when I really meant to switch it to this. Okay. So StatMuse is, you can literally look up stats for anything. Like they'll give you could say, give me the stats for Steven Adams, his last 20 games. And they'll list his past 20 games of stats, like the full stat line, or just like any random stat that you can legit think of. You can find it here on StatMuse. They also have an app. I have the app on my phone as well. But we are going to look up Pacers record at home this season. Let's see if typing that in works. The Pacers were 29-12 at home this season. 29-12. I think they have a more impressive away record than they do home record. But 29-12 is not bad. That's more than half the games they're winning at home. Let's see. Versus OKC, they lost. Let's see. In the regular season they play OKC once at home. But we know they beat OKC away and they beat them at home. So honestly, I'm not going based off of their wins and losses at home for tomorrow. The main reason I wanted to talk about anything finals related today regarding the Pacers and whether or not they're going to win is this news article that came out 3 hours ago talking about we don't know if Tyrese Halliburton is going to be suiting up for game 6, says Rick Carlisle. So likely won't know. Now here's the thing. One thing I learned about NBA during my fantasy run and just NBA in general is that a team is going to DTD a player. DTD means day to day. Means there's a lot of teams out. Some teams will let you know ahead of time that this player is going to be injured and they're not going to play. But I noticed there's other teams, I think they hold out and wait to the absolute last minute to somewhat impact the strategy of the other team. Because think about it, they have to prepare. Obviously, if you're a basketball player on any type of level, high level essentially, but typically there's a scouting report. You're running through plays, you're watching film. Like, that's what the greats do, at least. Like, so I think what the Pacers could be doing is saying, yeah, we don't know if he's going to play or not. Yeah, who knows? You feel what I'm saying? I think he's going to play. I think he's going to suit up. I don't think, like, there's too much on the line for him to sit down for game 6 against OKC, who went 68. They won 68 games in the regular season. I'm pretty sure he's gonna play. But you look at the stats that Heli had last game, they held him to 4 points. Some could say it was injury. Some could say this is a trend for Halliburton. That's why I think like there's sports analysis analysts or other people who think that Halliburton isn't a superstar. He's just not consistent enough to be a superstar. While others are like, he's proven himself time and time again. And so, especially if he wins this finals, obviously it's going to be undeniable, but it's going to take him winning this finals against the league MVP, Shea, versus his duo, the dynamic duo of Jalen Williams, J-Dubs. It's going to take this calf injury to not have any impact. Like, it's going to take everything this light-skinned man can come up with in order for them to consider him a superstar. All right. Won't know. I feel like he's going to play. For them to leave it up in the air like this, I think he's going to play. The article, I haven't even read this article yet, but it says if it were a regular season game, he probably would be sidelined for a week or two if this were December or January. Absolutely, because why risk your best player? But like I said, this could be their last game. I can't imagine losing at home. Hold on. I can't imagine. Can you imagine? Can you even fathom playing in a championship game, game 6, and you're home and you lose? And the other team's just celebrating on your home court? That should be motivation enough for Halliburton. Halliburton said today, he said, I think I have to be as smart as I want to be. Have to understand the risk, ask the right questions. I'm a competitor. I want to play. I'm going to do everything in my power to play. That's just what it is. How old is Hallie? He's young. That's what I would think. I'd be like, you got to risk it all. You got to risk it to get the biscuit. I heard that from this movie called Fired Up. One of my favorite movies ever. It's such a random movie, but anyway, he literally said he was talking to some cheerleaders and he was like, "You gotta risk it to get the biscuit." They're like, "What does that mean?" He was like, "We don't know." Oh my goodness! But here's the thing though. Here's the thing. You gotta be smart. You gotta ask the right questions. I think with Halliburton, when he says he has to be smart, I think a part of him is thinking like, y'all saw what I did last game. I don't play my best when I'm hurt. And that could be the reality for some people. Not everybody got that Michael Jordan flu game in them. Not everybody got that in them. That's okay. But as far as my projections for the game tomorrow, I said OKC in 6 originally. After the Pacers beat the Knicks, I said OKC in 6. Watching the heart of the Pacers, watching key bench players such as TJ McConnell and Obi Toppin and even silent but deadly, Brandon Mothrin. Don't want to forget. Why do I always call him Brandon? I think his name is Benedict Mothrin. Like, I think those guys are showing up at a high level, at the level that the team needs to maintain even getting to game 6. You see what I'm saying? Let me get some water. Oh God. Hold on. Bull down. Bull down. Hold on. Ooh, what the Heli? What the Heli, Burton? Yeah, so these guys are showing up. They're playing with heart. Pascal Siakam, superstar. Because he has a chip under his belt. We're going to call him a superstar. Pascal Siakam, superstar. You got Andrew Nembhard. He does what he can on defense. But he going to get this quiet 10. That's going to be quiet but deadly. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're hustling. Miles Turner really, really grinds my gears. I'm not going to lie. Like, he's just one of those guys where I'm like, sorry. I had a little bit of poor decision making stuck in my throat. Oh, wow. Pause. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, I'm just saying. Miles Turner. I've seen better. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's a decent big. There's a ton of other better bigs in the league than him. He just does the dumbest things at the worst times possible. And I really think if he has like this hairstyle, hold on, let's pull it up real quick. See, he usually wears the headband, he got the dreads. But sometimes he leaves some of the dreads hanging out. Like, he leaves it hanging out. And I feel like when he has that hairstyle, he plays his best. But then, like, when he pulls it all back and he just has the headband and the dreads, maybe the ponytail is too tight. That's happened to me before. It throws me off my game. I don't perform the best at work. So, yeah. I'm trolling right now for sure. Well, when Miles Turner has this hairstyle, it's like, okay, like, he's leaving a little out. He's doing like the Amish type of joint for it. Look, I'm trying to click on it. It's not working. Look, yeah. See what I'm saying? Hold on. He leaves a little hanging. But when he puts it all back, I just feel like, yeah, when he does it like this, just like this, that's when we see his best. But this Miles Turner, I don't know him. He just looked like he about to foul somebody. So there's that. No, on a serious tip, like, no, let's be for real. It's tough, man. It's tough when you got Jalen Williams scoring 40 points, Shea scoring 30. What's that, 70 combined? 70 points just from two people on their team. And then Chet, you got Alex Caruso. You got guys like Cason Wallace, Isaiah Joe. You got these guys coming off the bench ready to knock a shot down if needed. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the Pacers work extra hard on defense, but if they do not make their shots, OKC for sure has a more deadly offensive threat than the Pacers do. The Pacers, you could tell sometimes they don't even know what they're doing on offense. Like Nesmith, he not an offense. I think the Pacers, they're fast paced. They'll hit the shots. They'll hit tough shots. But it takes the only person that's like a consistent scorer on their team that's going to bring in racking double digits on a consistent basis, who can get their own shot, who can create their own shot, is Pascal Siakam. Everyone else on that team just seems to have to, I would even say TJ McConnell can create his own shot on a fast break or something clever if he's cutting through the lane. So that's not really creating his own shot. But still, like, the point I'm trying to make is these guys, you know, you might get Nembar with a stop and pop, but they're going to swing that thing around the horn a couple times before someone attempts the shot. Sometimes I'm like, it's 4 seconds left. I'm like, and Halliburton's doing a step back and he throws it up in the air and then it swishes nothing but net, and you just be like amazed. Like, I'm pretty sure Rick Carlisle thinks every shot they take is terrible except the ones that they make. Like, sometimes the way he be looking, you know, he's a championship coach. He's won a chip before. So I just feel like he be looking sometimes like, he be looking concerned. But, oh, yeah. So, where was I going with this? Where was I going with this? Okay. Offensive. But we got guys on OKC, man. We got Chet Holmgren. I don't even really like Chet. He was touch and go for me. I traded for him in the fantasy league, and having him on my team, like, he was cool, but he didn't impress me. He wasn't somebody I was like, yeah, I absolutely want to continue to have. You know, he was hurt. He's lanky. He's fragile. He's a delicate package. You know, I wouldn't draft him because chances are he's gonna get hurt. The chances are high. I don't want to deal with that. But he's really showing up in the playoffs. You could tell he really wants it. But he's dribbling the ball up the court. I think that was a coaching adjustment that OKC made early on in the playoffs versus the Pacers. I noticed that offensively they made two specific adjustments. I think from game 3 to game 4. No, from game 4 to game 5, they made adjustments after game 3. And the main adjustment I feel that they made was really smart offensively was having Chet bring the ball up. Because now you got Miles Turner coming out high in an uncomfortable spot for him. It disrupts the flow of their defense. And then you got other guys like Neesmith, Andrew Nembhard fighting over screens just to off-ball screens. But you got Shea moving off those ball screens. They're just positioned well. So now you kind of create space from inside for them to attack, for them to get that easy sideline jumper, for them to get that easy down the lane floater layup. Because Miles Turner is nowhere in there to be found. You see what I'm saying? Because why? Because Chet is bringing the ball up. He's at the top of the key. Sure, he might come set that screen. He might roll a little bit. But this guy's not doing no post up, bag down, traditional big man. He's not. He's shooting threes. He's catching alley-oops. Like, you know, he's getting to the free throw line. Maybe. So that is the adjustment that they made. Second adjustment I felt like they made was defensively, which is picking up Halliburton at the half court. Not even at the full. They met him at the half and they smothered him to death. I think he had like 2 backcourt violations at one point. Like, it threw their tempo off because now it forced the rest of the team to like move up a little bit, right? Because they had to come and bail him out. Halliburton, I think he's best when he's coming off an off-ball screen, catching and shooting, or maybe just catching it, one dribble, step back, whatever he has to do to create space. If Halliburton isn't creating space, I don't think he's getting his shot off. I don't think he's going to attempt the shot. So what did OKC do? They're like, we're not going to give you any space. We're going to crowd you. And we have the depth. We have an NBA defensive player, defensive conference, all defensive team player, Alex Caruso. We have him. We have, who else been sticking Halliburton? Who else is great on defense? I mean, I'm excited. I love this matchup, by the way. Like, I was so happy when the Pacers beat the Knicks, not because of that story I told you the other day, but because, like, it's just a better matchup. Because the Knicks, they're not a fast-paced team. They don't have any depth. They're a backcourt. We're going to try to draw the foul. We have scorers on our team. We play decent defense. You know, we're going to be big body. But against OKC, I don't think they would have matched up well at all. They would have struggled. OKC would have been just subbing in. Like, do you think the Pacers bench is deep? So I love the fact that both of these teams are fast paced, great tempo. They're both willing to take a shot. They both play good defense. But after my projections for tomorrow, it's a long shot, but we might take this to game 7, and OKC might win in 7 instead of 6. I said OKC in 6 originally, but I'm going to go with OKC in 7. I'm going to stick with this Pacers team because I called them out last year. I'm going to stick with it. I think they got one more win in them. I really do. I think Halliburton's going to play tonight. I do. And if he does play, they might do like shorter minutes, possibly. So I wouldn't, if you're putting any bets or gambles in, I would not. Oh, another way we can kind of see it. Well, we're still a day away. So, by the way, I have Bible study tomorrow, and the game is tomorrow as well. So, obviously, I'm excited for Bible study, but the game starts at 8:30. Bible study starts at 7:30. Usually I stay and I chit chat after, but tomorrow, once we are done reading, I'm leaving. I don't know where I'm watching the game yet, but I need to, I want to lock in. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes I just let out a huge sigh because I love Bible study. I love spending time with people. It's game 6 of the NBA finals. I don't want to miss it. And I don't want it to be a bad game. Like, it's been such a close and great fun series to watch. So it's just like, please be a good game. Give us all the entertainment we can ask for. Yeah, well. Okay, so we talked at length ad nauseum about this topic. Let's move on. All right. Next topic on the chop block. What is it that I wanted to? What did I say we were doing? Oh, trade rumors. Let's get some trade rumors. We're going to talk about the rumor mill. See, one thing about me in basketball and NBA, it's the contracts. Like, when people be like, oh, this person should go here and go there. But then it's like, bro, they got 3 years left in their deal. They're not going anywhere. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you shut your mouth. Okay. There's a couple of these top trade stories that we are going to talk about, look at. And again, these are all rumors. Because if we're also going to look at the NBA free agency. We're going to look at all that. Let's see who's free agents. We got to see who's about to end their contract. If anybody has any like website suggestions that they use to look at contracts and things like that, please comment. Let me know, because I just want to find those underground articles that are just update daily, but not everybody is hip or privy to. That's the type of vibe I want. Okay. So apparently there's 3 specific teams that are reportedly interested in Kevin Durant. 3 teams apparently interested in Kevin Durant. Hold on, let's see. Bear with me. You ever heard someone say, bear with me? And then they don't even have a bear with them. Funny guy. You're a funny guy. Okay, so I think I can figure out how to do this. Bear with me. No, like for real, bear with me. Like I'm not even kidding. I'm trying to do like a lot on this computer, and yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay. I wanted to put him on the screen because that's who I'm talking about right now. So Kevin Durant. So 3 teams. I said 3 teams, right? Yeah, I did. There's 3 teams allegedly interested in Kevin Durant, or 3 teams he's interested in, whatever. It's been reported that he's looking at the Miami Heat. Why did I say Miami? Miami Heat, Houston Rockets, and then the San Antonio Spurs. Okay, so if let's look at each of these teams, right, and see what teams, who is KD gonna choose? Okay, so let's look at the rosters of these teams and just do a guess best fit. And again, like, I don't really know his contract fully, but I guess, is he opting out? Like, I don't know. I want to look at his contract, because like if he's getting traded, then we got to talk about who could possibly get traded with him. But if he's getting traded, I want to see who they could trade for him. Maybe some draft picks if they even have it. That's what I'm talking about. These are all like logistical things that you have to know to make the best decisions, the best conversations, to make the most accurate assumptions. You see what I'm saying? LeBron James also has, we're not talking about LeBron James, we're talking about Kevin Durant, but apparently he also can opt into free agency, or he can sign a new deal. But that's a whole nother conversation. We not even gonna have it. So it looks like, and this is the last update for this article is May 25th. So I'm not liking any of this. My computer's working so hard right now. It's like, why are you doing this to me? I'm working way too hard. Free agency begins June 30th. So they got some free agency predictions, which I love because it's giving us, like, I think Miles Turner, this is it for him, for the Pacers. That could be another reason that he's playing the way he's playing, because he knows he's almost out of there. But if you know you're about to be off a team, wouldn't you want to play a little bit harder? Wouldn't this be just like an audition? All right. Nicholas Batum. Are we talking KD or are we talking free agency? Which one are we doing first? Girl, just go to the free agents first and then go back down the list and look at all the free agents that's out there that are worthy of talking about. That are big moves that could be made. Big moves. I had to go to the very top of the list because we know Kevin Durant is not at the bottom of this list. Okay, there's LeBron, James, Miles Turner, Nas Reed. Ooh, so much good stuff to talk. Oh, so much good stuff to talk about. Damn. Oh, so he's not a free agent. Okay, that. I guess that answers my question. Because I feel like he would have been on this. We would have seen him already. Okay, cool. So I'm glad we got this list going because that's going to be fun to talk about. But yeah. But the Suns aren't making any promises apparently, right? So if he goes to the Spurs, he's going to be playing alongside Wemby, depending on if Wemby's coming back, what that looks like for their team, for him, stuff like that, right? So we got Wemby, they got Wemby. Then you got De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is on the Spurs. We have, hold on, I'm still pulling it up. Let's go to the main cam. Where are they? They're west, southwest. Just take me to the Spurs website, man. Just take me there. Oh, I love basketball. We got a lot of stuff to talk about right now. I don't even know what the time is. It's okay. We're just going to get lost in ourselves and our time and our lives. Okay, Rasta. Okay, Keldon Johnson. They could possibly get him out of there for KD. You gotta think about it from a Suns perspective. They just hired a new head coach. Okay, so they got a new head coach in there, and so if the Suns aren't making any promises to KD, like, man, we gonna try to get you out of here. Let's talk to the Spurs. Let's see what the Spurs got to offer us. You feel me? And this is where these conversations are like, bro, you don't know contracts. You got to make sure you know your contracts before you really start just throwing names out there. But I'm going to throw the names out there just for fun, even though I don't know, like Chris Paul's contract, for example. You feel me? I don't know what his contract looks like right now. But getting rid of Chris Paul in light of getting De'Aaron Fox would not be a bad idea. He just got there. He's not going anywhere. I would assume. I don't know what his contract is, but I can imagine he's not leaving the Kings just to be here for a year. He doesn't give me that type of vibe as a player or a person. So I think he's kaput. If they were to get rid of somebody for KD, it could be Chris Paul, this veteran guard. Who knows? Who knows if they want these two guys on their team? You feel me? Steven Castle, he's new. He's a rookie. So he's going to go into his second year, but they consider it like first year pro on this website. So he was in the rookie pool, and I feel like he did some good things for just like for being a rookie. Like, he was decent. Jeremy Sohan, he's been on the team for a while now. I can see him going to the Suns. I can see the Suns say, let me get Jeremy and let me get Chris Paul. For Kevin Durant, that could be a thing. I can see it. I can see it happening. Looks like he just came from Binyambo. Devin Vassell, underwhelming season this year. He did okay, though. Julian. That's another person I can see them giving up to go to the Suns. Take Jeremy. take Julian, and we'll take one more person. Shoot, we'll take Bassie. We'll take this big man and develop him. Maybe we lost Nurkic. Don't they got Mason Plumlee? They don't really got that many bigs. They got Eubanks. Eubanks was on the Jazz, right? He's on the Suns now, I think, or was he on the Suns? He's somewhere else. They be moving Eubanks around like it's nothing. All I'm saying is, I think he's on that team. I think on the Suns. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't like the Suns. But yeah, send Bassie over there with Julian and Jeremy for Kevin Durant. That's a lot of people for KD, but it's Kevin Durant. You know, I think they have keep him as a backup center. Harrison, I don't think Harrison gonna go anywhere. And even if he did go somewhere, he'd probably go to the Suns like, shit, I don't care. F it. Send me. Who cares? You see what I'm saying? So Kevin Durant on this team, absolutely, I can see it. Because they're a big team. Keldon Johnson, Kevin Durant playing alongside De'Aaron Fox with Wemby. That's a solid big three. And then you got supporting cast. He's okay. He's an okay supporting cast member if they don't get rid of him. Harrison, that's not bad. Defensively, I'm not mad at it. Would they be able to catch up and be fast-paced? No. This is not a fast-paced organization. They're not moving fast-paced. Not with Wemby. So, I can see it happening. I can see him going to the Spurs. Okay, next team was Miami Heat. Let's see. Let us see. So they got, this is just off the top of my head. Let's see how much I can remember who's on their team. They got Andrew Wiggins, Bam Abababdo. They got Scary Terry, Tyler Hero. Ooh, kind of liking how that sounds though. KD on that team. Kyle Anderson don't do diddly squat these days. Alec Burke, Jaime Jaquez. Hayward. Hey man, Highsmith. That's not a bad person to have on my team. This is kind of giving like a Suns vibe though. Like Kevin Love, Davion Mitchell, he turns the ball over way too much. Duncan held it down for them too. While this guy, Scary, ain't do diddly squat. Scary was being scary. Scary was being scary for real. Andrew, Kill War. Great center, bro. Yeah, I mean, I like the Heat. I've definitely always really enjoyed watching the Heat play. If they were to get Kevin Durant, I think he would fit in with this team well. Because, but here's the thing. Will this team be able to stay healthy? And they don't really have the depth. So I feel like Kevin Durant wouldn't want to go here because they just kind of are similar to the Suns, in my opinion. Like, they just give me, that's what I'm saying. They give me Suns vibes. Like, you got a whole bunch of guys. He's gonna be like Grayson Allen, kind of. They actually play completely different. They don't play it like at all. I'm doing like a white on white crime right here. Like, I'm saying, like, it's given. Nikola Jokic. He's a great player. I thoroughly enjoyed watching him play this season. Man. I don't know. Like, if I had to rank out of the three teams, which one would KD go to? I think the Heat would be at the bottom of the three. I would even put him being on the Rockets before I put him coming to the Heat. You feel what I'm saying? But you also got to look at it, too, about KD. Because I feel like KD, he's been in the league so long. He's been around for so long. I look at it and think about it like this. Hold on. Let's pull him back up. Where does this man want to live? You know? Where does he want to live? James Harden made all that fuss. He ended up in LA. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like KD gives me the impression that he wants to live in Miami, or I don't think he wants to go to San Antonio, Texas. Does he want to live there? Who's to say he's gonna live there? But who's to say he's not? Like, does he want to live in San Antonio or does he want to live in Houston? But the fact that there's 2 Texas teams on the radar might give the impression that he could be going to Texas. He could be going to Texas overall. Texas could be on his radar. It's a possibility. While we ponder over that possibility, let's head on over to Houston to see what their roster's hitting for. And actually, I really enjoy watching Houston play this year. I mean, come on. Steven Adams, like KD reuniting with Steven Adams, that would be fun, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. What about KD reuniting with not reuniting, but KD playing alongside Amen Thompson? And I think I saw Fred VanVleet on the free agency tier because I think he was an amazing addition to the Rockets these past 3 seasons since his trade. But what if they lose Fred? Fred going to the Suns? I don't think he would want that. But Alperen Sengun? Oh my gosh. I loved watching the Rockets play. It's unfortunate that they lost to Golden State because they can't ever seem to beat Golden State in the playoffs, no matter what state the Golden State is in. Like, Golden State was not good this year. So the fact that the Rockets lost to them just shows that team just didn't have enough playoff experience. We're going to chalk it up to that. They did not have enough playoff experience. I'm surprised. I don't know what pool he has in the league, but he still has his job. Not understanding that, but let's pull up their roster. Let's see if KD could fit on this roster. All right. Why is their roster like this? I hate it. They got Jalen Green. I think this is Terry Easton. Oh. I can't see it, bro. It's small. Like the heads are so small. Like, why is it like this? Like, y'all want to be different so bad. Here goes Alperen, and then Jabari. He was streaky this year. Here's Tari. Tari was streaky, but he was balling. He has nice teeth. His teeth are very nice. Fred VanVleet. Wait, David Roddy. Oh, David Roddy played good too. He played good this year. Don't know how he does. Amen. Cam Whitmore, underwhelming season. Reed, love the stash. Jake Landau did all right. Very underwhelming. I feel like, see, they got some guys they could give up. Oh, snap. They got some guys that they could let go. You feel me? The Suns, they're not doing nothing this year. So I feel like it doesn't matter who goes to their team. They take anybody at this point. They're in a rebuilding era for sure. Dylan Brooks. The Suns could take Dylan Brooks. But like, matter of fact, Dylan, you could come over here and punch things and be the villain. Man, Fred, yo. If Fred lead the Rockets, I'm going to be sad. I don't know why. Like, I really like Fred VanVleet. He's probably in my top 25 point guard list of current point guards. He's top 25. But yeah, this is what kind of excites me. I can really see KD coming and going with the Rockets, bro. Damn. KD going to the Rockets, they winning a chip. I can see it. I can see it happening. That would be fun to watch. They just re-signed him. Why do you think they did that? I mean, obviously, he's a great veteran. He's a decent center. But they don't really need... Well, I think they do need some centers. But they could, if they get KD, they could get one more decent big man. The way big men have been playing these days. You feel what I'm saying? I think there's motive behind his re-sign. And he only got re-signed for 1 year. KD could very well go to the Rockets. That'd be crazy. He could. So yeah, I think between the Rockets and the Spurs, they're both. I think it's gonna be one of those two teams. We'll see. We shall see. All right. That's enough of KD for right now. We've talked a lot of KD. I want to check out this free agency. I want to talk free agency now. The NBA free agency. There she goes. There she goes again. If I had like a soundboard, that's one of the songs. Like when I started wilding out and tripping and going on where I want to play that. There she goes. But even though like that actually has nothing to do with anything. Okay, so there's 30 people on the free agency radar. Let's take a little look-sees, eh? Maybe zoom in a little bit more. Are y'all good? Y'all can see? Wonderful. Okay. Nicholas Batum. The Clippers are obviously on a rebuild. On a continuous rebuild. They always seem to get like really good players. They end up top 5 in the West, and then they just fall short in the playoffs every time. And we can blame James Harden, but I'm not going to. Everybody else can blame James Harden. I'm not going to blame James Harden. I had to talk a Clippers fan off the ledge about James Harden. I'm like, guys, he's not the problem. All right, so it's... People they're saying they think he's going to just re-sign. So he's supposed to be up for free agency. He's just going to re-sign with the Clippers. He's an old head. It would make sense for him to just stay with the Clips. He was, it's interesting though. He was on Philly. And then he went to the Clippers. So he went east to west. He obviously doesn't mind moving. But I think he might still be getting a little older. He might I'm going to settle down. You feel what I'm saying? And him, he's solid, especially in the playoffs. Like, he comes off the bench, and he makes an impact in some type of capacity. Kelly Oubre Jr. plays on the 76ers. I got to watch him play when he came to Washington, D.C. They think he's gonna opt to finish his current contract, so he gets the player option. So I guess he can either get waived or he can stay. And he making $8.4 milli if he were to stay. I mean, why not? Jared McCain's gonna come back. He's one of the leading scorers in Philly. Like, even with Jared McCain healthy, Tyrese Maxey healthy, Embiid healthy, he still relied on to score. And that's like his bag, offensive threat. He has his moments on defense, but I don't see him, if he had the option, I don't see him leaving unless he's talking deals behind the curtains we have no idea about. Kelly Oubre is that type of player. I think he can play on a lot of teams and just it will work out well. But why leave a place that you're already doing well at? He kind of did the same thing with the Wizards, but I think he played on Wizards, if I'm not mistaken. My ponytail's I'm feeling like Miles Turner. My ponytail a little too tight. Okay, so you got D'Angelo Russell. D'Lo, it says he's probably facing a pay cut, and if he can't get a team to give him the full, he may have to settle. They said perhaps the Milwaukee Bucks. The Nets suck. I don't see them getting better in a year. And like with D'Lo, sometimes I don't know his motive as a player. D'Lo frustrates me because he's left-handed. But I usually favor left-handed people. But he frustrates me on a whole nother level. And I don't know why. Like, watching him play sometimes just really frustrates me. And then, like, you can tell he didn't want to be on the Nets when he came over. He was just hurt the whole time. He played in a few games, but I think he got there like, bro, I do not want to be here. So, and then now it's saying you might make less money. Yeah, nah, he's out of there. He's leaving. To where, who knows, but he's getting out of there. Luke Cornett. Okay, Luke Cornett, bro. Fantasy gem. He is a fantasy gem. You don't want to draft him, but you always want to keep your eye on him on the waivers. Keep your eye on him, and then keep your eye on him when people on the Celtics are hurt. He's an injury hurt, like he's not injury prone, but I'm saying he's one of those players that you want to pick up when someone's hurt on a team. So the Celtics, he was that guy. Since he's almost 30. He may not be a starter, but he's shown throughout the last years that he's a viable rotation player and a defensive presence. So, and Tatum is hurt, so he's unlikely to suit up. And like with Tatum hurt, I feel like the Celtics want more than ever for continuity, or get rid of a guy like Cornette, which is dumb, and maybe get a scorer to help ease the loss of Jason Tatum, who also rebounds well for them too. So like, to me, if anybody were to take, if he were to leave and not re-sign, or they wouldn't try to re-sign him, they would be fools. They would be absolute idiotic fools. But if they were to get someone just as valuable, then okay, cool. But don't y'all dare trade Luke Cornett for no measly random players in a draft pick. Because, like, if you do that, y'all are fools. For real. Clint Capella. Boo. Clint was that guy, but these past 2 years, yikes. Like, on the Hawks, here's the thing about Clint. Before they lost DeJounte Murray, you could just tell Clint was struggling. And then after they lost him, he just continued to struggle. He just wasn't, we don't have to talk about him too long. Maybe a stop for the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers need big men. And Clint Capella, is he coachable? He's like around, I think he's one of those guys who does need like an older presence around him at all times. Like, I can't really think of the Hawks team right now. Excuse me. Because they had Bogdanovich, but he got traded to the Clippers. Jalen Johnson. He's not a big man now. He's a forward. But who else is on their team? I don't know right now. Karis LeVert. Oh, he's on the Hawks. Okay. The Hawks might be moving on from Clint Capella, but Karis may remain productive bench scorer in their plans. So, I can see it happening. I can see him staying. Russ, bro. This is what I really want to see. He said Westbrook is an acquired taste is crazy work. Westbrook is an acquired taste. He has acquired fashion taste, which is hilarious. But an acquired taste as a player, what you see is what you get with Russell Westbrook, bro. He's been the same. He's not going to change. I mean, I'm excited to see what the Nuggets look like without Malone, because we're going to really see like how good. I think Michael Porter Jr. is out of there. He might be on this list. I don't know. I feel like they're getting him out of there. He didn't do diddly squat in the playoffs. Tyus Jones, he's on the Suns. He was on he played on the Wizards, so I got to see him play when they played against Philly before he got traded. I liked he hustles. I actually drafted him later down the line, and I ended up dropping him towards the end of the season. They stopped using him. It's very weird. Like you can start Tyus Jones, you can bring him off the bench. I remember in the group chat they had a whole debate on who was better, Tyus Jones or CJ McCollum. But like we're talking about point guards. Tyus Jones is a point guard, but see CJ had to be a point guard for the Pelicans this past season. So that was like new for him, I think. But Tyus Jones, he's always been like the point guard for his teams. It's just I think he's a system guy, right? If the system works for him, he's going to work with it. If it's not working, he's just going to kind of fade away in the background. Oh, and you know what? I was just thinking, like, I promise y'all, I was just thinking, like, he could very well do well in the Orlando Magic because he's the type of guard that Orlando needs and likes to have. Like, just looking at their track record and their history, he's that type of player, I promise y'all. I was just thinking that. That's crazy. Okay, Dennis Schroeder. Man, I love Schroeder, bro. I've seen him on 3 different teams in the past, like, year. He just... Back with the Pistons with a similar salary. I mean, why not? Why leave the Pistons? You know what I mean? They playing alongside Kate Cunningham. Why not? You know? So. Davion Mitchell. I bet they said he wasn't especially memorable. I told you that man be turning the ball over, bro. 44% from the 3-point range isn't bad, but like how many threes is he taking? We'll see. Chris Paul. Okay. See, I didn't see. This goes more into my narrative of KD could go to the Spurs. He could very well go to the Spurs, bro. He hooped this season. Hooped, bro. He upped his value. If they bring him back, he's going to get a raise. Or if he gets signed somewhere else, he's going to get a raise. He was hooping this season. He was even good on fantasy. Because sometimes someone could be good on basketball, but in fantasy, they don't hit the mark on stuff. Ow. I could see him getting a pay cut just to stay. Why would he leave when he's on the tail end of his career? He's not going nowhere. Yabu Saleh, bro. He had a great season this year. He held it down when Joel Embiid was not there. Like, he was solid. He's definitely getting a raise too. Look at that. They've had the $8 million to spare to pay. If he goes to the Spurs, Yabu Saleh, Wemby, Kevin Durant, De'Aaron Fox, Stephen Castle, Julian Champagny, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan. I'm not mad at it. I like it. Cam Thomas, yo. We're just going to step over him. I could care less about Cam Thomas. Now, this is a guy. He plays on Lakers. Yeah, he plays on the Lakers. I don't know why you would want to don't get rid of Dorian. This is the guy. He's like a Herbert Jones. He's like a Vince Williams Jr. He's just a guy you want on your team because he knows his place. He's gonna play defense and he gonna score when he can, you know. But he knows his place, bro. You don't want to get rid of a guy like that. You want to hold on to a guy like that. You know, I was glad that the Nets released him. Free my man's Finney Smith, for real, from the Nets. Free anybody from the Nets. I don't even like D'Angelo Russell. Free him from the Nets. The Nets are trash. They're going to be trash next year, too. Okay, Brook Lopez. Another solid. If he were to leave, if they're not trading Giannis, they'll likely keep the still productive Lopez. He's 37. Oh my gosh. He might have slipped some steroids in his drink. He probably stole some of Bobby Porter's steroids. It's like, no. I thought when Bobby sat down, Brooke Lopez would generate more revenue. Generate like more value. I had him on fantasy on one of my teams. He was alright. Probably wouldn't pick him up again though. Yo, Malik, yo. Detroit had a good team. I'm so impressed by them. You got Cade Cunningham right here. We got Tim Hardaway right here. Like, they got Paul Reed. I like Paul Reed. I liked him when he was on Sixers. I just think to go from being the last team in the Eastern Conference to have the worst record in the entire league. I think they only won 6 games. It's like, no, that's crazy. I think they won more than 6 games last year. Who knows? But I feel like it's 6. To go from that to, what were they, number 6 in the Eastern Conference? That's impressive, bro. That is truly impressive. And Cade Cunningham balled his little heart out, bro. Santi. If Santi leaves, I would be excited for him to leave. And I just hope that he gets more burn and bump. He really made a huge impact in Memphis. I think he'd be a restricted free agent, providing the team doesn't need to renounce his rights to renegotiate and extend Jaren Jackson's contract. The answer may be a trade, likely Brandon Clark or Jeremy Conker. So, like, the Grizzlies, they had a lot of two-way players. They were playing like fast, like never having the same starting lineup, even though people weren't like super hurt. They just were trying to figure things out for themselves. If they get rid of Santi, because they already got Zach Edey, they got Huff, which he's not really a big man, but he could be utilized like that. They got Jaren Jackson. It's like, why do we need Santi? I would rather have too many big men than not enough. Me personally. But he definitely deserves a raise, and he deserves to maybe be somewhere else. Okay, this is SGA's cousin. I hate to reduce him down to that. But he got to get up out of Minnesota. He's one of those disposable guys that they could pair off to get a really good person in there. You know, he's cool, but if he leaves, I wouldn't be surprised. Yo, they're going to get rid of him. He wants to leave. He does not want to be at Golden State anymore. This man thinks he's better than what he is, and I think he is great. I think he could have a great season next year. Let's just see where he ends up. Let's see where he lands. Let's see what they say. It says, after the Jimmy Butler trade, Kuminga struggled to stay healthy and found his role diminished. And Steve Kerr, I just don't think him and Steve Kerr, I don't really think they get along. So I could see him getting up out of there. Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes, he's so fine. But y'all don't come here to hear that. Let's stay on topic. He was on the Mavericks, and I liked him on the Mavericks. And now he is on the Sixers. See. Yeah, why not keep Grimes? I think they would be idiotic to drop him. Like, will the Sixers do well next year? If they re-sign Kelly Oubre, they got Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Quentin Grimes. What's up with Joel Embiid? Who cares? They might lose Babu Saleh. Who else? I feel like they got some other people on their team, and I'm just not thinking about it. We gotta look at their roster. Josh Giddey. He just got to the Bulls, so I don't see why he would leave. He was so controversial. And honestly, he's the man on that team. Why would he leave? Like, Zach LaVine just left, and he knows he's going to get bumped because when does Lonzo Ball stay healthy? You feel what I'm saying? They got Ayo Dosunmu, who kind of struggled staying healthy this season too, but he's a solid guy. Like, he's solid. Who else they got? Did they got Andre Drummond? I don't know. They got Zach Collins. You feel what I'm saying? I think he's Australian, right? It doesn't really matter what nationality he is, but I think this Australian bloke, this bloke might just stay here. That was not an Australian accent, but let's keep going. Kyrie Irving is one of my favorite players ever. And when he tore his ACL, I was very sad. It was very, very sad. It was a sad, sad day, bro. Ivory opts out and re-signs a 3-year deal starting in the 30-35. Like, why the heck would he ever leave the Dallas Mavericks, bro? If he gets healthy, I'll be excited to see him back. I don't think he's gonna leave the Mavericks. Like, why would he? Fred, my heart. They better bring back Fred VanVleet, especially if KD's coming. Fred VanVleet is so good for the Rockets. He's been so good. He improved his shooting when he got to the Rockets. Like, I think he came from the Trailblazers. Like, that was one of the best trades ever. I actually drafted Fred VanVleet my rookie season onto my team. I had Wemby, Joker, Fred VanVleet, Jalen Johnson. I picked Jalen Johnson up off of waivers. He had an amazing season. That was just a really good year for me for fantasy. Like, to be a rookie, is my love of basketball, my tenacity. But Fred VanVleet, I ended up trading him again and getting him on my team this season. And I don't regret it. Absolutely love Fred VanVleet. Okay, I'm ready for him to retire, though. And he's not even that old. I think him and I are the same age. I think Julius Randle is in his 20s still. Can you believe that? He don't look like he 20 something. He's 30 years old. No way, bro. He looks so old. Like, what? I'm ready for them to give him up. Like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I just feel like he's so predictable. When he scores, it's because he's strong, he's clever, and he's left-handed. Like, if you can get to the rim and you're left-handed, it's tough to go against someone who's left-handed at the rim unless you're playing against Angel Reese. Just kidding. Shady boots. Shady. I couldn't help myself, but she's not even left-handed. So, well, like, it was talked that she left-handed, but she right-handed, but she left-handed, but she right-handed. I don't know. Long story short, it's just hard to block a left-handed person. So, the times that I think he has scoring spurts, but I am not impressed with his game. I'm ready for him to get out the league. But he's still so young. Okay, Naz Reid. What's up with him? Oh, Reid to the Pistons? He thinks he's worth more. If you watch him play, I think Minnesota has poor coaching. And this is why. They just did not use him how they should have used him. He's actually really smart. His basketball IQ is high. I've seen him make really good passes that I think a lot of people would have missed. But he made them. And I think he's getting overshadowed by Anthony Edwards. And while Anthony Edwards is great, Naz Reid is that type of player that you need to give him more touches and give him more opportunities to create shots for other people. And if he had another guy on the team who was looking to create shots for him, he would be even better than what he is. So if it's over money, that would make sense. If him going into the free agency and getting picked up by a different team, it probably has a lot to do with them not valuing him or helping him reach his full potential in the system that they create. and getting him around a guy other than Anthony Edwards, because Anthony Edwards is not here to make other people better. He's here to say he's the best, to take all the shots. That's it. I think a truly great basketball player makes all the people around them better. And that's what separates like good and great players. And so Naz Reid, I think if he were to go on another team and they actually used him to his potential, we will start seeing things with him that we've never seen before. Here go my best friend. The Pacers are in the NBA Finals. It's time to pay the tax, which means rolling out a $30 million starting salary. So they're gonna re-sign him and pay him $10 more million than what he is getting right now, if they win the championship. If Miles Turner, he had a great season. Don't get me wrong, he played really well alongside Pascal. But if Miles Turner does not win the finals, I would not pay that man $10 million more. I pay him $5 million more because y'all made it. Y'all won the Eastern Conference Championship, but you know what I mean? James Harden, man. What's up with James? Resign. Obviously, bro, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. I was so pissed off when they said that, because we only had like 7 points in that final game when they lost in the first round. He had like 7, or the second round, whenever he lost, like he had 7 points or something. And they pulled up a stat of how he only scores like 7 points, if that, in all like the game 5s, the game 6s. Like he just doesn't show up. I feel like, and then they have the audacity to say that Kawhi Leonard put it all on his back. What was Kawhi Leonard doing this season? Making commercials. Nigga was on PTO. Nigga had paid time off like the whole season. Come back right before the playoffs. Kind of start do something and then get mad at the team. I'd be like, Kawhi, where were you? Where were you? I think, what did the Clippers, would they finish 5th? Did they finish 5th overall in the Western Conference? The better conference out of the two conferences? Didn't they finish 5th? Am I tripping? Or didn't they finish 5th? Fifth. They finished 5th. They went 50-32 without Kawhi Leonard. We're not about to play with James Harden like that, bro. He did the best of what he could. And he wasn't even the leading scorer on the team this year. It was Norman Powell. But he makes Zubac better. Zubac is an amazing big. But you can't be an amazing big without having an amazing guard around you. That's just what it is. Like, yes, Joker's great. Joker is great. But what's Joker without Jamal Murray? You know, Joker's probably still going to be Joker, but we haven't seen him without Jamal Murray. And Jamal Murray is a great player to play with and have as a guard. Like, that wasn't a great example. What's another great example? We're talking about a big. Alperen Sengun, for example. Do you really think that he would be as good as he was if he didn't have a good point guard like Fred VanVleet? Like, I'm talking about bigs being good because they have good point guards with them. Like, Wemby and his team struggled at the beginning of their season last year when it was just Jeremy Sohan. They had Devin Vassell. What is that guy's name? Vassell, Sohan. There's one more person I feel like I'm leaving out. And I feel bad that I'm like leaving him out. But still, like, they struggled. They weren't great point guards. So what did Wemby do? He struggled. Like, towards the end of the season, they started to find somewhat of a cadence, and Wemby had to do a lot of things on his own. But he's not a traditional big man, but he can be if he had the right point guard around him. Then you see him with Chris Paul. So, kind of, till he got hurt. But still, till Wemby got hurt. It's just like, James Harden, I think he's grown so much over the years. Like, to see where he was on OKC and then on the Rockets, his brief stint on the Nets, and here, like, I just think this is the best he's played in a long time, and we need to give him his props for that. And if he re-signs to the Clippers, that's going to be great. That's really good for the Clippers. And then, of course, last but not least, certainly not least, LeBron James. So it says, the Lakers appear committed to James for as long as he wants to play in the NBA. That's GOAT talk, bro. I'm not a LeBron fan, but the fact that it's based on what he wants to do. We just read through everybody on here. Ain't nobody talking about, well, if this is what he want to do, then let's do it. Like, what? If he wants to play in the NBA, you could play on our team. That's GOAT talk, bro. Monitoring how the Lakers move forward closely, James can opt out and re-sign. Typically, he likes 2-year deals with a player option on the second season for slightly more his option, for more than his option, or he can opt in, finish his contract and retire, re-sign, or move on after 25-26. I think he's gonna retire this year. I really do think he's gonna re-sign, but if he re-signs to a new 2-year deal, because they say typically he likes to do 2-year deals, but what if he re-signs? He could opt in, finish his contract, and retire. Re-sign, do 2 more years. Wait, are they saying he can opt in, finish his contract, and retire, re-sign, or move on? Oh, meaning probably go to a different team. Which is interesting, because would he? For the sake of Bronny? He already got his son on the team. So many things to talk about. So many things. But here's the thing. If he's retiring this year, then whether this based on how I'm reading this, if he opts out, he goes to waivers. Correct me if I'm wrong. He can go to waivers, get picked up, sign a new deal. If he sign, which I don't know if he would do that. Like, I think he wants to retire when he says he's going to retire, not like off of a guess or anything. But he can opt in, finish his contract, and retire, meaning 2 more years, because it says he likes 2-year deals and a player option on the second season. Or re-sign or move on. He's going to be 41 years old this year. My goodness. How, you see these 2 people? Which one looks 30 and which one looks 41? Out of these 2 guys. Oh, man. Well, I've been going on for an hour, 18 minutes. I don't know how people who stream for hours and hours and hours do it. I'm exhausted. And the sun's still out. I kind of want to go outside because it's been raining, thunder, and a storm. I want to go out. I'm going to go to the store. I truly, truly, truly enjoyed this. Like, talking basketball brings me so much joy. And I'm happy and excited to do this. It's more so like a hobby for me. But I want a new computer setup, a new basement, and just like new content ideas, continue to get to know the systems. I can't do too much right now. All I can really do is like research, do my due diligence, stuff like that. But yeah, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. And it's only up from here.